If someone tried to steal your bike tonight, how many seconds would your bike survive? The sad truth is, most motorcycles can be rolled away in less time than it takes to order a coffee. Thieves aren't magicians. They're just fast, practiced, and looking for riders who make it too easy. But here's the good news. Every layer of security you stack buys you more of the one thing thieves hate most: time. After watching how quickly vans can lift entire bikes, we decided to flip the script. Instead of asking, how do thieves do it, we stress-tested the defenses that actually slow them down. So before we break down 7 security layers ranked by time to beat, hit subscribe if you want your bike to stay yours. Layer 7, steering lock plus bar clamp redundancy. If you're relying on your motorcycle's little built-in steering lock, you might as well be protecting your bike with wishful thinking. Seriously, those factory locks are about as tough as a breadstick. A thief can snap one faster than you can say, insurance claim. But hey, don't toss it out. It's still worth using. Just don't let it be your only line of defense. Think of it like seatbelts. Yeah, they help, but you wouldn't want them to be the only thing stopping you in a crash, right? Same idea here. Use the steering lock, then throw on a handlebar clamp for backup. That clamp locks your bars in place, and the beauty is that it's obvious. Thieves see it and immediately know that it's not business as usual. So, what does this layer buy you? Around 20 to 60 extra seconds of frustration for the bad guy. Doesn't sound like much, but trust me, in thief time, that's an eternity. Add it to your other layers, and suddenly your bike looks like a really bad investment. Riders who say, I always use the steering lock, I'm fine. Yeah, okay, until someone with 2 biceps and a bad intention walks off with your ride. Double up, it's cheap, it's simple, and it makes your bike way less appealing. Layer 6, disc lock with motion arm, plus that silly reminder cable. Alright, let's talk disc locks. These little guys are like putting a padlock on your front rotor. They stop a thief from just rolling your bike away like a shopping cart. But here's the twist. Get one with a motion alarm built in, and now you got yourself a screaming banshee attached to your wheel. Here's why it works. Thieves hate attention. They're basically raccoons in hoodies. As soon as something makes noise, they scatter. A disc lock with an alarm buys you 30 to 90 seconds of pure chaos for the bad guy. And that might be all you need for them to bail. Now, about that neon reminder cable. Yes, it looks goofy. Yes, it flaps around like your bike's trying to wear a friendship bracelet. But it saves your disc brakes and your pride from you forgetting the lock is on. Trust me, there's nothing more embarrassing than hopping on your bike, rolling forward 2 feet, and bam, face plant courtesy of your own security system. Every rider does it once. The smart ones use the cable after that. A common mistake? Buying the cheapest, non-alarmed disc lock and thinking you're covered. Nah, silent locks mean silent thieves. If your lock doesn't yell when someone touches it, you're basically giving thieves a quiet puzzle to solve at their leisure. So yeah, get the one that screams bloody murder. Sure, your neighbors might hate you if you accidentally set it off, but hey, better to annoy your neighbor than fund a thief snoop PlayStation. Layer 5, keyless and ECU hardening. Now, this one's for all the folks rocking those fancy keyless bikes. You know, the just walk up and push a button magic trick? Yeah, thieves love those too. In fact, some of them can relay your key signal and make your bike think you're right there, even if you're inside your house eating cereal in your pajamas. But don't panic, there are ways to shut that down. Step 1. Keep your key fob in a Faraday pouch at home. That's just a tiny bag that blocks your signal. Without it, you're basically broadcasting "steal me" radio waves through your living room wall. A shocking number of riders just drop the fob on a table by the window and call it a day. Congrats, you just gave the thief curbside pickup service. Done right, this layer can block entire keyless attacks and add 60 to 120 seconds of frustration for anyone poking around your ECU. Doesn't sound like much, but in thief math, that's too long. Let's find another target. Layer 4, hidden alarm module and backup battery. Here's a dirty little secret about alarms. Most riders install them in the most obvious spot, right under the seat. Guess where thieves check first? Yep, it's like hiding your wallet under your car's sun visor. You ain't fooling nobody. The smarter move is relocating that alarm brain to a spot that isn't the usual. Tuck it somewhere awkward, wrap the wires in loom so it blends in, and suddenly, a thief has to spend time hunting instead of unplugging. And remember, time is your friend. Every second they're fumbling around, your bike is screaming at them like an angry toddler in a grocery store. Now, here's where it gets fun. Add a backup battery or backup siren. That way, even if they cut the main power, your alarm keeps howling like it just discovered Nickelback on repeat. A thief expecting silence is not sticking around when your bike is basically auditioning for a horror movie soundtrack. Done right, this buys you 60 to 150 extra seconds of confusion and very loud regret for the thief. That's a lifetime in the bike theft world. A common mistake is riders proudly installing their alarms in the most obvious place possible. It's like putting up a neon sign that says, "Hey, thief, cut here," or worse, no backup battery. So one snip and it's nap time for your alarm. Don't make it that easy. So yeah, hide it, double power it, and let your motorcycle sing the song of its people if anyone messes with it. Layer 3. Rear through locking to something immovable. Okay, let's get real. Locking just your front wheel with a disc lock or chain is like locking one sneaker when you're trying to stop a thief from stealing the whole outfit. The pros know this trick. They just take the front wheel off and wheel your bike away like a shopping cart with a limp. The smarter play? Go through the rear wheel or frame and chain that sucker to something that isn't moving. A ground anchor, a heavy post, whatever you got that would make your bike harder to drag than a couch through a stairwell. When your rear wheel is locked to the earth itself, you've just taken quick getaway off the menu. Do it right, and this setup forces a thief into a multi-step circus act. Find your lock, find your anchor point, then figure out how to free both without looking like they're wrestling an octopus in public. That's 2 to 4 minutes of pure pain for them, which is basically forever in the theft world. Chaining your bike to something ridiculous, like a fence post you could snap with one kick, or worse, leaving the chain lying flat on the pavement like you're presenting it as a gift. That makes their job easier, not harder. Elevate the chain, anchor the rear, and laugh, knowing the thief's night just got way more complicated. Layer 2. Ground anchor and heavy chain. Keep it off the ground. Now we're talking about the classics. A beefy chain and a solid ground anchor. This is like the dad move of bike security. Old school, heavy, and ridiculously effective. If you got a garage, driveway, or even a solid spot outside, install a ground anchor and chain your motorcycle down like it owes you money. The secret here isn't just the chain itself, though. It's how you use it. Keep the chain elevated off the ground and tuck the lock inward. Why? Because thieves love leverage. If the chain is lying flat on the pavement, you've basically given them a free workbench. Elevate it, and suddenly their night just went from easy job to back pain and sparks in the face. Time to beat is somewhere between 3 and 7 minutes, depending on how stubborn your setup is. That's 3 to 7 minutes of loud, messy, tool-slinging nonsense in public. Not exactly stealthy. Biggest mistake? People chaining their bike to something laughably weak, like a thin railing or a cheap fence. Spoiler alert, the thief will just take the railing with the bike, or use a hardware store chain that looks scary but breaks faster than a breadstick. Don't cheap out. If the chain weighs less than a toddler, it's not real security. Bottom line, a proper ground anchor plus a heavyweight chain isn't just a deterrent, it's a statement. This bike isn't going anywhere without a forklift. Layer 1. Dual layer mechanical. Chain plus U-lock combo. Alright, this is the end game. The final boss fight for any thief. Imagine they've already battled through motion sensors, cameras, trackers, ground anchors, and still think they're winning. Then they meet the nightmare, a big chunky chain, and a heavy-duty U-lock. Working together like peanut butter and jelly. Except instead of sweet, it's painful and annoying. Why does this work? Simple. A chain on its own is tough. A U-lock on its own is tough. Put them together, you've just created a lock puzzle from hell. They need 2 different sets of tools, 2 different strategies, and way more time than anyone's willing to spend looking suspicious in a parking lot. This setup usually takes around 7 to 10 minutes of nonstop grinding, hammering, and swearing to even stand a chance. That is, if they don't just give up halfway and move on to some poor guy who thought a steering lock was enough. Mistakes people make? Oh, this one's good. Using a tiny bike chain you could chew through like beef jerky. Or worse, locking both the chain and the U-lock in the same easy-to-reach spot, so the thief only has to work in one place. Spread them out. Make the thief bend in awkward yoga poses while sparks fly in their face. At this point, you're not just protecting your bike, you're basically trolling the thief. They'll waste so much time, energy, and cutting discs that they'll either quit or sit there wondering why they didn't just become accountants instead. If you really love your motorcycle, give it the dual layer treatment, because nothing says, "Not today, buddy," like a fortress on two wheels. So, quick recap. Handlebars locked, ground anchor down, park smart, slap on a GPS, set off alarms, point cameras, and top it off with the chain plus U-lock combo. That's 7 layers of not today for any thief. If this gives you a laugh or a new idea, smash that like button. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And hey, don't stop now. Click the next video. It's waiting for you.